What's up, everyone? Nikki and Clarence here.
What up, what up, what up?
Welcome to Breakdown to Lowdown's first wind down segment. Happy New Year to you all. It is finally 2021. Yes, we are so happy to be able to bring you this new segment that we've been working on. Basically, it's going to be a weekly 15 to 20-minute conversation that will be uploaded to our YouTube page here. And we'll be welcoming on guests who we've had on the show in the past. We'll be discussing a topic that we may have talked about at some point on our show, but because we need to go to the next topic, we couldn't fully flesh it out. So here we continue conversations, we chill, and we relax after the episode. Today, we are very excited to welcome our first guest, the lovely and talented boss lady herself, the founder and creator of Haitians Who Blog and Dorsainvil Creative. Please welcome Miss Shirley Dorsainvil.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, we're so excited to have you here. My gosh, we don't want to waste too much time, but just how excited are you that it's 2021, first of all? Because I'm really excited.
I don't know if I'm excited just because 2020 was like the rest year for a lot of people. And so everybody's like, they're on go in 2021, they are on go. But guess who's getting all the legwork? I've already been on go.
Let's
So
go.
I'm out here like, oh, everybody else is on go. How do I match up? How do I keep up? Like they got new energy. My energy's old. So I'm like,
your energy is not old. Like no, you have been making moves. Like we see you, Dorsainvil Creative, expansion out here in these streets. You know what I mean? Haitians Who Blog has a whole new look. Like we see you, and and you're making moves, and the community salutes you. First of all,
thank you.
I do agree that the energy has shifted for a lot of creatives, but I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see what it brings. Hopefully, it's some positive changes.
Right.
Now, today we're here to discuss our topic, which is social interactions between white and Black people in a predominantly Black setting.
Right.
We had this conversation, Clarence and I, once on the show. It was an interesting conversation. The listeners really were excited about it, and we always felt like we wanted to get deeper into it. It's funny because recently in Montreal there was an incident with at a pharmacy called Uniprix, which would be like, what is that in the States, like CVS or Walgreens or something.
CVS. Yeah.
There was an incident where we went on lockdown again because people just won't respect anything, and in the cosmetics hair beauty section, it was like blocked off all of the Black hair care products, and it was like these were not essential items, and then all of the other hair care products were essential. And the reason I bring it up because we just talked about it in the episode, is funny because when the manager of the store came, who was a white woman, and she was being filmed on live by a Black woman, and who was asking like, what's going on, and she seemed immediately, just seeing the two girls, Black lady, she just seemed a little bit on edge, and it kind of, and the girl wasn't being aggressive at all. She was very calm. It made me think of like how sometimes white people can be in interactions with people who look like us. Do you find that sometimes white people are afraid in those kind of settings, in your experience?
Afraid? You know what? Yes. And I'm not talking like just like huge settings, like even in an elevator. I think once I went on an elevator, there's like 4 of us, 3 Black niggas, just niggas, right? And then there's me, little me in the crowd. And I remember just like going onto the elevator, and I'm an empath, and I can feel people's energy. And I can remember just like feeling the person get very uncomfortable. I don't know if it was, I don't know if it's race, but I know it couldn't be human. It couldn't be about us being human. So in the way the person kind of like got off the elevator and then like looked back, and then I remember the door closing, and I said, do you think this white person was scared of us? And everybody's just like, maybe, who knows, right? So I do know that white people get very uncomfortable if they aren't used to being around a lot of people of color, just Black people, anybody of color.
True.
Obviously, they get uncomfortable with Hispanics, they get uncomfortable, like they just get super uncomfortable with people who aren't white. And I do know that when we're in social settings where there's a large group of people, they try so hard to fit in. And
Mm.
it's uncomfortably trying to fit in, like saying things that we probably didn't say since the 2000s.
That's where I want to go. That's where I want to go. Clarence, I want you to tell Shirley about your illegal gathering that you had over the
All right,
summer.
chill.
No.
Don't throw me under the bus.
I mean,
Actually, that's not true. All right. But so you're talking about the game night, right?
Mm,
No, so basically, I talked about it on the show. I talked about the fact that my girl planned a game night,
mhm,
and she invited her girl, but there was like one white girl, and she's super cool, to be honest. And it just happened that when she was there, the whole energy just shifted.
Mhm.
mm,
Like the black girl, they became stone cold faced.
Mhm.
Like she was just trying to have like the white girl was trying to have like a regular conversation and everything, but you could see like
You were
them
standoffish.
black or something. They were not having it. Like, but the
Hmm.
thing, like, it's not. She's not like the typical white girl. I don't want to say typical, but she's not like that type of white girl that will try to force it or try to say, them expression just to fit in or whatever. No,
mm.
she's just doing her. But
Do
uh,
you think that the black women at the gathering became uncomfortable or threatened by the fact that the white woman was present?
bro, there's a lot of things. There's the fact that it happened at the time of the George Floyd and Breonna
Oh,
Taylor. So
right.
So tensions were high,
yeah.
period.
So it's kind of
Yeah.
fresh. But at the
Mhm.
same time, but after that, I just realized like, yo, that's them. They just don't rock with with white folks or whatever. But the thing is, like, I felt that it wasn't fair to the white girl at the same time because it's not like she was disrespectful or she was trying to fit in or do a bunch of shit just to have the attention or whatever. No, she was just being cordial. She was just doing her.
She was just white.
Right.
So because of that, it kind of like,
So I felt that it wasn't fair, but that's my thing sometimes. Like, yeah, it's cool to push that black agenda to be like on that black and proud shit or whatever, but it's not a reason to disrespect the white folks sometimes. Like if they cross the line, they cross the line. It's all good.
right,
Because, like I
right.
don't get me wrong. Like me, I'm just like Shirley. I feel the energy. Like when I feel like you try to force it or whatever, or like them white folks. I'm like, oh, ça passe, oh, grio. I'm like, yo, really, bro, really.
Exactly. Yeah, no,
Like I don't like that energy.
we've
But
all had that energy. But
yeah,
the interesting thing is, so I mean, I'm putting you on blast again. You had two illegal gatherings over the summer. Let's just be real.
She
So
just keeps saying illegal gatherings.
because we weren't supposed to be doing it.
really, that's not
Um,
true. All right.
but when you had the
Yeah.
little the Airbnb thing, and
Yeah.
so I can't really speak on the game night because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But on the little Airbnb thing, there were two lovely white ladies there,
Mm.
Mhm.
and they were encircled by the black men. It was almost like it was interesting to watch. You know what I mean? I do sometimes feel that white women feel more comfortable amongst black men than they do around black women. I think they feel like they have to be a little more, I don't know, on the defensive, which makes us on the defensive. And it's just like we're trying to figure out if you're cool or not. And then like as you know, like especially this year, there was so much tension in the
Mm.
air with everything that was going on. I think they felt just safer with the black men who appeared to not be judging them and just be having a conversation with them and maybe, trying to do other things or whatever. But have you seen that, Shirley? Is that a thing? Maybe I'm crazy.
I don't know. Black men were just as angry as black women, at least down here. I know it's a different environment when it's actually impacting your physical country and your city. So things
Mm.
are a little bit different. But
Mhm.
I've been around a lot of white people during COVID, and I don't think I've seen that. I think tensions were high on everybody, Black people, Black men, Black women. Um, and just in general, just to like bring it to a generalization, because I don't want to put it towards a time where there was high tension and like there was complete disregard for people who were for Black people in general. I just know that I know that Black men are definitely friendlier with white people. And I know that they're not as aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
whereas women, and that's where the angry Black woman narrative came from. It's
Yeah.
we're the can I speak to your manager kind of person. So because we are the can I speak to your manager, it may come off that we're not the best to be around
Right. It comes off
when
as
you're
aggressive,
yeah, we already come off as aggressive. We already have the narrative. So I think it's more of a fear because of that ideals that people say Black women are not friendly, we're very mean, we're very angry. That might be why white women are like closer and more comfortable with the Black man.
I yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that, and again, this is just a high level generalization. I do think that sometimes Black men are friendlier to white women. I know we've seen that trope in the media, of course, of
Yeah.
the exotic woman or whatever. So they actually, I mean, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Like white women have told me like they feel confident with Black men because of what Black men have told them about us. Um, and I'm like, and I'm always uncomfortable with that. And I'm like, oh, really? Like, what do they say? It's like, yeah, they say that you guys complain, you guys don't let them go out or whatever. And like white women have sat to my face and told me this. I'm like, wow. And they're like, and I'm like, so why do you like Black men, or the ones who specifically like Black men or whatever? I'm like, so what is it with you and Black men? Like, what does that attract you? I'm just curious, you know what I mean? Usually it comes off as some type of fetish, some weird type thing that they tell me. And then I'm like, okay, so that makes a lot of sense. What I've seen sometimes in social settings where like, and women in general are catty. So then you add the race aspect into it. Like you're just already on guard because you think that this group doesn't like you, and the other group already thinks that you think they're better than them based on just how based on just societal norms. Honestly.
Right. Yeah.
But that's the thing too. Because like there's some of my homies, they told me straight up they don't really roll with Black women. And the thing is, and that's something that I don't tolerate at all. Like you can have your preferences, but you can't bash your own people. You can't bash Black women. You come from a Black woman, so it doesn't make sense. And that's the thing that is wrong, because now they get comfortable. Then the white lady that you're talking about, like she's super comfortable now. Why she comfortable is because of men like that, and it's not good. So I feel like it's a work on our side, Black men, that we have to do. Like we need to start bashing our women. It doesn't make sense, because just by doing that, like you're giving like these white lady power, to giving them the confidence to talk crazy. White lady shouldn't talk like that. To be honest, like
That's
for
true.
me, what you just said, it sounds all type of crazy.
It's crazy to me
Like,
that they
yo,
feel safe enough to tell me that. And I'm like, and in that time, when you're in an environment that is predominantly white and you are the odd one out, which I tend to be in most business settings, um, it's it's like you don't want to come across as the angry Black woman. You don't want to have that reaction. That's the reaction I really want to have, because to be honest, in my office, I've been called out at times for being too like sensitive about things or whatever. So sometimes it's like you don't even want to say what you're really feeling. You just kind of let them speak. Yeah.
but like I said, like especially Black women, I feel like depending on the situation, especially like a professional wise, you guys always start like at -100 compared to the other people. No, it's facts.
That is
Like
sad. But
no,
I
it's
faut crier
facts.
Wakui.
No, but it's
Yo.
back sometimes. Like sometimes I hear some situation and I'm like, yo, it's not fair, because if it would have been like another white women, or even like a black man, like even men in general, we have it better than women. We all know that it's been like that since I don't know when.
In
So
some aspects, I would say you have it
yeah,
harder than others, but
yeah. So I think that there needs to be a shift. So, but it start by us black men, because I feel like we I don't even think that we pay attention to how much we bashing black women sometimes.
mm,
Just some of the
that's
most
something you've seen,
like
Shirley. That was a
just for the
Yeah.
random shit
Yeah.
where we might think it's random, but like nah, it's wrong. Why are you saying that?
Right.
But
And I personally see it on both ends.
mm,
That's why I kind of like took a vow for like, I think it was like 2018. I was like, I will no longer bash Haitian men. Because it's like, yeah, some men are fucked up. Like
I'm about to talk about
I dated a Guyanese guy, I dated a Puerto Rican guy, I dated a
Mhm.
Haitian man, and they all cheated. So I can't sit here and say that it's a Haitian man thing. It's not a Haitian man thing. It's just an individual person, like the person that you're dating type of thing,
so
right?
meaning you're
So
trying really hard to say they all ain't shit. Like I sensed
right,
it. I sensed it. I said it
right.
for you, but I
Period.
didn't take that
But
vow.
it
So
but it's a stereotype from like even like probably your mom or older people in your family. Like yo, like for example, my girl, when like she told me straight up, her dad, when he learned that I was Asian, he flipped. He was like, oh my god.
isn't he Haitian?
Yeah, he flipped because for him it's like yo, all Asian niggas are the same. So
Oh,
Wow.
no, so he was expecting like yo, oh, white dude, all right, cool. But the fact that he was like
Interesting.
oh,
Yeah, it
Asian.
does come in our community as well.
Yeah. So it
That is
starts
mm,
from the
true.
older generation. Like, of course, if you have your auntie sitting there, cracking jokes with your other auntie, be like, "Oh, Haïtien vagabond, vagabond, but the garçon Haïtien."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
screw it.
But
So
the thing that's funny is like we talk about men and shit, and I'm very open on the fact that every problem has a root, and men ain't shit. Overwhelmingly, we say that, and we see some actions that would dictate that they ain't shit. Why is that? What society has done this to men. We have made this man. We have told them that it's all about conquer. It's all about it's all about rape culture is just now not tolerable, but it used to be the norm. We raise our boys differently from our girls. They
mm,
grow up with an entitlement a lot of the times, and I'm generalizing. Obviously, there are some men
yeah,
who don't
yeah.
grow up that way, but it's just like, what do you expect? I was telling this to my mother the other day. I had a conversation with her because she said something to my brother that was so drastically different from something she would ever say to me, and I was like, this is why we have this issue. I was like, what?
but I guess I feel like it starts with what the media are projecting in general. Like that narrative.
Right, because that's where we're getting
That's
the information.
yeah,
Hmm.
and that's why I don't fuck with like none of these Tyler Perry movies or whatever. Because you always have that gangster black man or whatever.
Well, Tyler
Like,
Perry feeds off of stereotypes. We know
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
but it's not good. Like, yo, who's on top? He's a black dude. Why you doing that? Already, like in the media, we don't have a good image of ourselves, and now you're doing that. Yes, it's funny, but it's still not good.
I don't want to do the Tyler Perry conversation because I could go like forever on that. But
No, but it's just an example of like yo, in these movies, that's what you see: the black dude coming out of jail with
I
braids
but
or
I don't know
whatever.
that the media it should be what we're looking at as our main agent of socialization. I feel like it
Well,
starts
yeah,
in the
that's what they
home.
pushing. Like all the hip hop video. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of hip hop, but like we went from like pushing like political views and all that to like all right, having a gazillion girls in the videos and like
So,
probably
yeah.
have a scenario in the video that the black man is
Okay.
shooting the girl or whatever. It's all these type of stuff that show us like, yo, man, ain't shit.
Mhm.
So this is what you have to be. I understand. I mean, I guess it's like a what
It-
came first, the chicken or the egg type scenario. It could go in a circle. You know what I
Right, right. Yeah. And trying to figure that out isn't the solution,
Right.
right? Like
Mm,
Fact.
trying to figure out which place established it. It's a narrative. The narrative has been
And it
here
just
for a
needs to
very
change.
long time.
It comes
Right.
from your home. It comes from the crib, the education that you have at the end of the day. That's how I feel. Like Shirley just said it, it's a narrative. We can't change a narrative. We can't go
Mhm.
against the machine. But like
Mhm.
we
We
can
can change how things are moving forward. So we won't eliminate the fact that people have this false sense of whatever it is about relationship dynamics and stuff like that. But like moving forward, it's more of the less you talk about it, the less people will remember it. I don't know if you guys read or watched Fahrenheit 451. The more books disappear, the more they burn them, the less people remember that books were actually a part of society, right? It's the same concept with the thought process. The less we continuously say these things, the less likely we are to think about it. And we currently see that when it comes to Black love. There's less talk about Black men ain't shit. I don't see that as much as I used to.
I agree.
And that's because I see more of Black love and Black men being uplifted, Black fathers being uplifted. Like people are trying to see less of those horrible conversations about men, Black men, except for celebrities, because they're always in the attention. But I see more glorification of Black love and stimulating more positive and healthy Black relationships.
But what
Agreed.
you're saying,
Go
what
ahead.
you're saying is facts because I guess technology is part of that. Because if you pay attention, like back in the days, what was your source of information or whatever? We didn't have Instagram, we didn't have Facebook or whatever.
Mhm.
Now you have a bunch of people putting pictures of their black couple or whatever it is. Now, if you pay attention, even for black women too, not just black love, all that black movement going on right
Black
now.
Girl Magic, Black Boy Joy.
Even like women, I was talking about that the other day with my sisters. Back in the days, like now your hair it needs to be like just like the European women, like it needs to be, But now it's like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna have my hair natural. People are doing dreads right now, whatever. But before we
Yeah,
have all
yeah.
of that information, why? Because what they projecting to us, that's what it is. You have to go with the wave. But now it's
We
different. We have
we got
access
a
to that
sense of Black media.
information.
Black Twitter, no matter how much we hate to see it and love to see it, Black Twitter is very important because it
Very.
spreads information that is about Black people. And
Mhm.
for a very long time, we didn't really have, like, unfortunately,
You
we
have to
love
trust other
Essence.
media.
Right, we love Essence, but Essence is owned by white people. It doesn't matter how much they try to put faces of Black people, white people own it. White people put the information in there. White people decide what information comes in and out. Doesn't matter. But Black Twitter is raw and it's pure Black people. No one can, like misinform the public about Black Twitter.
Mm.
Listen, on that note, guys, we're gonna wrap up our first wind down segment. So happy that Shirley was our first guest. We
Yes,
completely deviated from the topic. That's
always.
that's what it was expected. So, so we're gonna let you go. One, thank you so much for joining us, and to you guys who are watching, don't forget Breakdown to Lowdown weekly Fridays. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. And the Wind Down is also going to be coming out after each episode weekly. So make sure you're stay tuned for that.
All right.
Thank you for having me, guys. I can't wait to be back again.
Yes.
Hey.
Bye, love.
Bye, everybody.